This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a returning guest. I'm excited to have him back on the show. It's been about 2 months. I want to get an update of what's going on with BioLargo. Their CEO is Dennis Calvert. They trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol BLGO. Dennis, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Everett. Great to be here.
Give my listeners a little bit about statement. We've had about 30,000 new listeners over the last 2 months. So tell them what you guys are all about, what you do.
I'll do it. So BioLargo, as you know, is a science and technology company. We've been inventing for about a decade. Everything that we choose to focus on, we always say it's going to be number one or we're probably not going to do it. And so these are breakthrough technologies that are focused on making life better. And as we say, we make clean air, clean water, and advanced healthcare. So it's a robust technology company. And what we do is we invent it, we prove it, and then we partner it into the commercial markets for success. So it's pretty dynamic, I'd say innovative, sustainable company. And we've got success under our belt, and we've got more coming. So we're pretty excited about it.
You guys have an incredible product called CupriDyne Clean. Can you catch us up where we're at on the progress of that in sales?
Sure. Well, so CupriDyne Clean is this product that evolved over time for industrial odor control. And it's just astounding. As we say, it's finally an industrial odor control product that actually works. And it's gone into a market that's crowded with competitors with products that really are inferior. They don't work well. And so what's happened in the last 90 days or so is having seeded the market with trials, unconditional guarantees, and a pretty aggressive marketing campaign, we've been able to break through at 3 of the largest waste handling companies in the world for national purchase agreements, which basically puts us in line to now sell to the channel as an approved, safety-rated, well-understood product. So that is just really changing the face of the company. Sales are climbing. The energy is just outstanding, culturally and sort of from a psychological perspective. It's finally this, what we think is a significant market with a huge market potential and really solving a need that before now has never been met. Right?
Absolutely.
And so it's pretty exciting for BioLargo.
One of the products that I wanted to catch up on is Clyra. When is Clyra going to file with the FDA, and kind of remind us again about the key value proposition of those products? Yeah,
so remember the genesis of BioLargo. I mean, it goes way back. When I first met the inventor, Kenneth Ray Code, he told me a story about how his dad had a stroke and was at risk for what's called nosocomial infection, right? So that's a systemic hospital facility related infection, which we know about, right? So that's the original genesis of BioLargo, and it's taken us a long time, right? And as I say, it takes great technology, it takes great people, proper capitalization to get through the barrier to entry. So over the last year, we invested about $1 million. We hired specialists in regulatory, laboratory proof of claim. All the data has been essentially gathered to the highest level for submission into the FDA. We've got a couple of very high-value targets. One is for infection control, and then one is for chronic infected wounds, actually putting a product onto a wound that threatens the life of a senior, like a diabetic ulcer, that sort of target. In any event, all that work has been done. We were targeting the June, July, August timeframe. We're on track. In fact, we just put out a press release, or an article was just featured about us that says, wound care products are on track, and they are. So we're really literally days, if not weeks away from getting that registration application on file with the FDA. The value proposition is significant. I have one quick story. I was at a conference with an international wound care conference just about 3 weeks ago. And our data was presented by one of the leading experts in the field, Dr. Brock Leiden, and he runs a wound care clinic and sees an enormous volume of wound care patients. Again, you got to remember, these are the patients that come to him with the most difficult cases, right? This is the case where traditional methodologies are not working. They're chronic wounds where limbs are at risk of being amputated. I mean, it's serious stuff, okay?
Absolutely.
anyway, Brock did this great presentation, and the primary emphasis really, and this sort of tells it all, is he stood up in front of about 75 clinicians, and these are leading experts in the field. He asked the question. He says, everyone here's used iodine before, right? And they all said yes, right? Everybody raised their hand. He said, that's right. We use iodine because it's like pulling out in your toolkit. It's like pulling out a nuclear weapon. It's the one that is going to get the bugs. But the traditional iodine that's been used in this market also has some side effects. It has a little collateral damage, and that is that it inhibits scar formation sometimes. It actually is damaging to skin, the old. So the point here is that what Clear has done and what we've done is we're now delivering a product that has an iodine component for this very effective infection control, but we've done so at a level of performance that avoids cytotoxicity, which is damage to skin. So that's a revolutionary concept. In fact, one of the providers there, he made the comment, he said there hasn't been a new antimicrobial presented to this market in at least 10 years. And so there'll be a lot of excitement about our product coming to that market. So the punchline to that is the data's done. Of course, we're checking the boxes for the applications and really, really refining it to make sure we get it just right. And we're a matter of weeks away. So it's pretty exciting.
My guest today is Dennis Calvert. He is the CEO of BioLargo. They trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol BLGO. Their market cap is just a little bit north of $54 million. And for an OTC company, they've only got out around about 65 million shares in the float, which I think is very low. Their stock price is hovering around 55 to 60 cents a share. Last time you was on the show, we were talking about signing deals with Waste Connections. Can you give us an update on that?
Right. So we've signed actually 3 national purchasing agreements with the 3 of the top players within the industry. And so they're big, a couple of really big companies. And so all of those are actually expanding, where sales are being generated. We're rapidly reaching the point where we're shipping product every day and receiving orders every day. And so things are really dynamic in that part of our business. So it's really very exciting. And I think we just scratched the surface. We're just getting started. But I think our shareholders will really benefit by increased sales, of course. So that's pretty good.
That's what I was going to say. You think revenues are going to ramp up in the third and fourth quarter?
Well, they are. It's really hard to forecast how fast they're going to ramp, only because we just don't know. I mean, we're excited. We think it could go really fast. I mean, this is a market where we calculate over 1.2 million potential locations in the fields. And if you just narrow it down to landfills, it's, something like 15 or 16,000 opportunities, right? And, our clients here are purchasing product from anywhere from 2,000 all the way up to 20,000 a month worth of product. And so our experience has been that these products are the only ones that actually work. I mean, that's the bottom line. They're safe, gentle, easy, they're affordable, we price it to sell. We offer these clients an unconditional guarantee of satisfaction. That's it, unconditional. Because we know that when this product is put to work, it's going to do the job, and it's going to do it in a way that they've just never seen possible. That actually is the biggest roadblock. They think nothing works, so why even try ours? Now, we're breaking that down, and we're breaking that down with these national purchasing agreements. And so we're well poised to go out and serve this market well, and we provide a high level of service and training. As we say, we got to help our client be successful with our product, and so we're digging in and we're doing it every day, and it's awesome.
I want to switch gears here for a second. I know you guys have a technical symposium coming up for the AOS technology. Can you share any updates about that status and maybe the next milestone?
Sure. So that technology is, as you know, is a little pre-commercial, right? So we're in the alpha heading into beta. And so this alpha to beta is an interesting jump. In some ways, we actually presented our alpha unit. One of our participants, that was about a year ago, one of the participants said, that's not an alpha, that's a commercial unit, right? But not right. That's not quite right. It looks like a commercial unit. What happens is, when technologies like this go into the field, they have to be fail-proof. You can't be servicing it every day, keeping that thing alive. So what you do in the development stage is you build it to its maximum limits, and you break it over and over and over, and you find all the things that it won't do. That's how you know what it will do, right? So, and you can depend on it. So that's what we've been doing. Now, in the last few months, we've been engaged in 3 commercial trials, one in dairy, one in poultry processed water, that's dairy wastewater, poultry processed water, And then we've just had this incredible opportunity that developed with a municipal utility district in the San Francisco market, sponsored with one of the leading engineering validators in the world. And so we've been doing that work. And so this symposium will be the culmination of all that work. We think in many ways the science is really now validated and proven, and now it becomes customized, ruggedized, ready for market. And of course, distribution channels need to be established. So that's what we're in the process of doing, talking with these potential partners to see this technology find its home in the open market.
If you would, maybe bring some of my listeners up to date what really is the AOS technology, your water treatment stuff. Just give them a little bit of background.
Yeah, sure. So the water industry is this just behemoth, right? Many estimates are like $850 billion global market. And as everybody knows, water is becoming increasingly more precious, especially where there's drought like California, where we're located.
Absolutely.
So, and then there's, because of technology, there's even more awareness about contaminants that threaten drinking water even, right? There's more precise measuring and all that. Plus there's concentration of industrialized, produced water. In any event, water is becoming increasingly precious and more highly valued. And there's a lot of federal and state money and international money focused on advancing water for conservation and reuse. That's taking waste streams, converting it to usable water. And of course, desal is another, and conservation is another. So there's a lot going on in the water business. Where we fit is we're the technology that can take some of the most difficult waste streams, process it through our AOS, our advanced oxidation system, and we strip out soluble organics and we disinfect incredibly well. And so here's the key value proposition is that we're doing something in many cases other technologies can't even think about doing, but we're doing it at such an incredibly low cost and so fast that it represents sort of a leap forward, if you will, in the science of how you can treat water. And it all has to do with using our chemistry, electrochemistry as a catalyst, transferring energy to the molecule, achieving this very high state of advanced oxidation. And then as water passes through these devices, right, it's able to break down these contaminants so rapidly and so efficiently that it becomes the low-cost, high-value proposition in the water industry. And so, again, that's technology that we've received over 35 grants. We built a research center at the University of Alberta on campus. We have over 20 researchers cranking out data. We've had over 20 collaborations. There's an exhaustive level of publications that are now coming forward as a result of our work over the last 3.5 years. We've done over 1,300 studies. That's 3.5 years of work. So when we come in to present this technology, we are armed with data, credibility, people, validators, collaborations, and it's an expanding intellectual property estate that has a chance to make an impact all over the world.
You've been listening to Dennis Calvert, the CEO of BioLargo, Inc. They are an environmental friendly science and technology company. What they do, they make life better for delivering sustainable technology-based products, help solve some of the most widespread problems threatening the world's supply of water, food, agricultural, healthcare, and energy. Dennis, in closing, is there anything that you would like to get out to my listeners that maybe we didn't get a touch upon?
Well, I think it's important for everybody. Everybody's busy, right? So it's hard to pay attention all the time, okay? And we understand that. We get it. So we do a lot of newsletters. Of course, these interviews are awesome. But here's the thing. At BioLargo, we had a technical specialist come hang out with us for a couple of days at the lab just last week. And it's an expert. She walked out as we walked out, she says, "I've never seen such innovation. You're literally innovating by the hour." And the point is that what you see today is what we've done. What you will see is what's coming. And this is an incredibly evolving company, because we're deep in the throes of scientific advancement, and as we say, it makes life better, and it's going to be number one, or we probably wouldn't do it. And those inventions and those discoveries are continuing. So ours is a company to definitely watch because it's evolving so rapidly.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for giving my listeners an update. I hope that you come back on the show 40 or 50 days and give us another update. And I wish you nothing but continued success.
Go BioLargo. Thank you, Everett.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire, LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.